Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about Series 2, but not the Series 2 we know. I'm going to be talking about an alternate Series 2 in a parallel universe, which actually saw Rose leave and Lynda stay on as the companion. Thank you to everyone who put their vote in to decide what is the next alternate series video I'll be doing. And again, at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about another poll I put out for you to decide what is my next alternate series video. But without no further ado, let's get into the video and see what this alternate series would have been like. So, what if Billie Piper did leave with Christopher Eccleston after the first series? Now, I think with most people it's always been assumed Lynda would be the companion, and I have also heard it being said that Rose, or Billie Piper rather, stayed on because she met David Tennant and wanted to do another series with him. But is this all true? Unfortunately, unlike my last alternate series video, it's very difficult to work out what would have actually happened, because what would have happened isn't mapped out by the showrunner like it was for David Tennant if he stayed on as the Doctor in Series 5. So it is very hard to actually find out what would have actually happened, and also if there was any truth behind Billie Piper actually thinking of leaving after the first series. Officially, on the 30th of March, a statement was put out by the BBC, not Christopher Eccleston, saying that he'd be leaving. It was then on the 16th of April 2005, David Tennant was announced as the next Doctor, and he started filming from April to July and August 2005. Then filming concluded for Doctor Who on the 23rd of March 2005, not long before the series began. Now, seeing as these are only official statements and what happened with Christopher Eccleston and the rest of the team hasn't been really revealed, it's very hard to pinpoint what the thought processes of the team were behind the scenes. So again, it's very difficult to work out if Lynda would have actually been the Series 2 companion. But seeing as it was early on into his filming career of Doctor Who that he actually decided to leave, it can only be presumed that they actually rewrote the finale to include his regeneration. Now, there is no evidence for this, but there could also have been another script which included Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper leaving. Again, there is no evidence for this, but I could have actually seen sort of Billie Piper being introduced to David Tennant by Russell T Davies on purpose to sort of make her encouraged to stay on for the second series, which is what could have happened. So again, there is the possibility that there was a script which did involve Billie Piper and Christopher Eccleston leaving. Again, seeing as the hard facts are sort of blurred, it is very hard to say, but I would say that Lynda would have been the Series 2 companion. I do feel like things were hinted towards it, and I feel like if they had to get a new companion, I definitely feel Russell T Davies would have gone with Lynda. Now, in this version of the script, how would have Rose left? I feel like she would have either died by the disintegrator beam, or she died absorbing the time vortex energy. However, I could also see them going down another route. Perhaps she did absorb the time vortex energy, but instead of killing her, the Doctor manages to stop it killing her, but it erases her memory. That way it would sort out the sort of mess of Mickey and Jackie sort of looking for the Doctor and finding out what happened to Rose. And that way Rose wouldn't come back because her memory's been wiped, so she wouldn't know of the Doctor. And of course Jackie wouldn't tell Rose about the Doctor because she wants to keep her safe. So that way we wouldn't have Rose sort of come back for the Doctor, because if she was desperate to find the Doctor in the passing of ways, I don't feel like she'd give up again. So I feel like that's sort of one way to sort of keep it unmessy. And again, it still keeps in line with Christopher Eccleston regenerating and leaving after the first series. Now, again, as well, it does depend what they go with Bad Wolf. Of course, Bad Wolf was littered throughout the first series, so they would have had to do something with it. But I feel like if they still wanted to keep Rose Bad Wolf, this would have sort of been the best route to go down. Either way, whatever route they go down with Rose, Lynda would have survived and not died by the Daleks. Now, this would have meant she would have seen the 9th Doctor who she just met regenerate into the 10th Doctor, which would have been something really cool to see in New Who, as they have done this sort of thing before in Classic Who, where a companion has just sort of met the Doctor and sees the Doctor regenerate into someone new. Now, firstly, would they still base her in the year 200-100? I feel like with her Earth just being destroyed, and to keep it relatable for the audience, the BBC and Doctor Who would have decided to keep her in the modern day. I've also heard it being said that Stephen Moffat actually wanted Victorian Clara to be the Clara the Doctor travels with, but the BBC went against it to keep it relatable for the audience. So I could definitely see the BBC doing that with Lynda. I also definitely feel like they would have absolutely gone with the romantic relationship shared between the companion and the Doctor in the second series. I also feel like it would have made more sense, because I feel like with Rose having known the Doctor in the first series and there being no sort of romantic type of relationship, then the Doctor regenerates and then she does. I feel like it makes more sense for Lynda to have actually shown a romantic relationship with the Doctor, seeing as he sort of saved her and she's been whisked away by this magical man. So I definitely feel like it would have made more sense. Again, Rose was whisked away by a magical man and sort of met the Doctor and he saved her. But it's different circumstances, and seeing as Rose didn't share a romantic relationship with the Doctor in Series 1, I definitely feel like it would have made more sense for Lynda to share a romantic relationship with the Doctor instead. Again, like my last alternate series video, I do feel like a lot of it would have stayed the same. Now, New Earth, it could have had an emotional attachment for Lynda, seeing as the Earth was destroyed in the end of the world, and her Earth was destroyed in the parting of ways. So I feel like she could have had more of an emotional attachment. However, I don't feel like the episode would have been as enjoyable, seeing as there wouldn't be that sort of back and forth of Cassandra and Rose. Although, with Rusty Davis, I definitely could have seen Cassandra sort of bring up Rose, and then the Doctor get upset, and Lynda sort of feeling that she's sort of second best. Again, it does ring bells with Martha, so I could definitely have seen him do that. But with that, I still feel like it would have been as good. But again, it could have had more of an emotional attachment for Lynda. So that would have been sort of interesting to explore. Then with the school reunion, you could have still had that back and forth between Lynda and Sarah Jane, seeing as sort of Lynda is sort of thinks she is special to the Doctor, but she found out actually the Doctor has had many like Lynda before. So that could have still gone ahead, and again, that would have been something nice to still have. But the Cybermen two-parter would have had to been tweaked a little more, seeing as there wouldn't be the Tylers, and Lynda definitely wouldn't have family on modern day Earth. So I feel like it wouldn't have been as good again, and they might have had to sort of go with a different sort of setting with the Cyberman two-parter. Perhaps they go for more futuristic Earth instead, because doing modern day Earth, there's not really the Tylers. So again, a huge sort of part of the Cybermen two-parter would have had to be changed. But those are sort of the main highlights and what would have had to be changed in the second series. Now, as if the ending for Series 2 wasn't sad enough, what makes it even sadder for Lynda is when she gets trapped in the parallel universe, she doesn't have actually any family there like Rose did. So that would have been really sort of sad. It would just add another layer of sadness to that really sad ending of Series 2. Now, of course, Lynda could have sort of teamed up with Jake. Of course, Lynda loves the Doctor, and Jake is actually gay, as we saw in the deleted scenes.
I'll never have another boyfriend like him.
So there wouldn't be that sort of romantic relationship, but I feel like that's good because we want to sort of keep it with Lynda and the Doctor, not Lynda and Jake. So again, just to give Lynda someone to be with and to sort of help her get back to this universe, she could have sort of had Jake with her. Then moving on to Series 3, when Jack comes back, if he didn't know what happened to Rose, of course he would have still asked, but he would have also asked about Lynda, seeing as she survived, and what happened to her, and then he would have explained she's trapped in a parallel universe. So again, apart from that, a lot wouldn't be different in Series 3 as well, but that sort of scene would have had to be changed slightly. But again, it would have sort of given reference back to Lynda, sort of building her up for the next series in Series 4 when she does return. Then Series 4 would have been exactly the same, except just with Lynda. We've got the Metacrisis Doctor. But in the 50th, it would have been slightly different. Now, it all depends on who was Bad Wolf. There could have been a possibility that Lynda ended up being the Bad Wolf. So if Lynda was, then Stephen Moffat might have brought Lynda back. Although if Rose was the Bad Wolf, he would have obviously brought Rose back. But then again, it depends if he would have wanted Rose or Lynda. I'm sure if he wanted Lynda and she wasn't Bad Wolf, he would have sort of changed it so Lynda could have been in it. It all depends on which companion he would have wanted. And if he's bringing David Tennant back, I feel like it would have made more sense to bring Lynda back, seeing as in this reality, Rose and the 10th Doctor never travelled together. When looking at it as a whole, it wouldn't have been as bad of a thing, I think. I feel like with a lot of people, they don't like Rose in the second series. They prefer her from the first series. So I feel like a lot of people would have actually liked to see Lynda and how she would have gone. And a lot of things would have actually made more sense with Lynda, like the romantic type of relationship. Personally, I would have liked to have seen this reality happen, because I feel like Lynda could have evolved into a really great companion, and she did really show signs of potential. She was also really sweet and really likeable, so I feel like she definitely could have made a great companion. I could have also seen her being a keen learner to learn off the Doctor and become better, and sort of evolve through the second series. So again, I feel like she would have made a really great companion. And also, unlike other companions, I feel like she would have really appreciated the places and the things the Doctor showed her. As in her world, having a garden is impossible and they called it 100 Years of Hell. So to escape that and see all these new worlds and new places, I feel like she really would have appreciated it. And again, it would have made her a really great companion and something slightly different from the typical companion we get. The only downside I could see to this possibility is the fact that it could have been too much of a change. Now, having Rose and the 9th Doctor in Series 1, then the 10th Doctor and Lynda in Series 2, is quite a change to the main cast. And with Doctor Who just coming back on TV, it could have been too much for the casual viewer. Now, with Rose having stayed on, it sort of acted as a bridge from Series 1 to Series 2, and it helped sort of the casual viewer get more used to the new Doctor, having some familiarity and getting used to regeneration. So again, it could have affected it negatively, but this is the only sort of downside I could see to have Lynda stay on in the second series. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen this possibility, although I do really like Rose, and for me, Rose and the 10th Doctor is just like the perfect casting, and I do love them together. So the fact that if we got to see this, I would have missed out on that. I would have actually liked to have seen what happened in this reality with the 10th Doctor and Rose. So again, it's always something interesting to explore, but I am happy we got the 10th Doctor and Rose. But that's just my opinion. What I'd love to know is what you guys think. What do you think would have happened in the second series, and would you have liked to have seen this actually happen? Let me know in the comments below. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, it's going to be up to you guys again to decide what is the next alternate series video I do in a couple of weeks' time. Now next week I've got a very special video coming up, which I look forward to showing you guys and I look forward to making. But I would love to know what you guys want to see in the next alternate series video, so make sure you put your voting in the community page and make sure you're subscribed. I am only 75 subscribers away from hitting 500 subscribers, which I again cannot believe and I am so incredibly grateful for. So thank you all so much, and when I do eventually hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to be making a tour of my TARDIS on how I made it and how you can make your own. So if you enjoyed the video and would love to see that, then make sure you're subscribed. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully see you in my next video soon. Thank you all for watching and take care.